Welcome to Dakota Growing. I'm Kelsey Deckert, your horticulture agent here in Burleigh County. Joined with my co-host Tom Kalb. We are on location today at a very special place, Menoken Farm, and we have a couple guests joining us today. But first up, we have Jaden Deckert, sometimes known as my better half, here today. How's everything going, guys?
Great. Thanks
Great
for
to
having
be
me
here.
on.
Yeah, end of August, feels like fall, feeling pretty good.
It's beautiful. It's great to be here at Menoken. Let's get it going right away. Jaden, why don't you tell us a little bit about Menoken Farm and what it's all about?
Okay, so Menoken Farm was established in 2009. We're a 150-acre demonstration farm. We don't do research here. We don't knock you if you ask us if we do research, but we do a lot of different conservation demonstrations, all based around the 5 soil health principles. Our mission is advancing soil health through innovation and education. So that's kind of what we're all about.
So you're demonstrating the importance of soil health. And so today we're going to look at a lot of stations, see a lot of these demonstrations going on, and what we all can learn about them so that we can have a healthier soil, a more productive garden and home landscape.
Ooh, that's benefit for everybody, isn't that?
Got it.
That's our goal.
Grow your own food and have healthy, nutritious, better diets, right?
You're right. And this is a resource that's open to the entire community. Is that right?
Yes, yep, we're open. We always have an open door policy, even on weekends. If we're not here, everybody's more than welcome to come out, take a look. If there's something specific you want us to show us, it's better if we're here because then we can talk about it and explain what's going on. But yeah, no, we're completely open to the public at all times.
And you get many tours throughout the year, correct?
Yeah, we
From
give a
all over?
lot of different tours from actually all over the world. Just last week we had a group from the Ukraine here. So yeah, all over the world. It's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Amazing.
Very cool. Well, are we excited to start just touring
Yeah,
around
let's
and
go.
learning more about Menoken?
Let's check it out.
All right, that sounds good. Where are we going to start off today?
I think today we're going to start off in the high tunnel and we'll kind of go through that and take you guys through the paces.
Okay, so we have moved over to the high tunnel here. Jaden, can you tell us a little bit when the high tunnel got established and like the purpose of what you got going on in here, the purpose of the high tunnel?
All right, so the high tunnel was thrown up in 2013.
So 3 years after?
Yep,
Okay.
3 years after the establishment of the farm, and the purpose is to bring something in for the urban population. Like I said, 150 acres. We had a lot of large-scale demonstrations, so this allows an opportunity for the urban population amongst our outdoor gardens, things like that. Everything that we do on the farm is based around the 5 soil health principles, and it doesn't matter if you're farming 2 square feet or 20,000 acres. The principle is the same. It's very scalable. It just looks a little bit different. So in here we demonstrate the principles. The first one being armor. So you always want to keep your soil covered. You want to keep it protected. That protects your microbes. It helps manage temperature, different things like that. And as you look at the different beds throughout the high tunnel, there's lots of armor, whether it's in the form of an organic mulch or an inorganic mulch. So lots of crop residue, cover crop residue, lots of different mulches going on in the high tunnel. Our second soil health principle is minimize disturbance. So everything in here and everything on the farm is no-till. So we really want to minimize that soil disturbance because for the biology, if we think about it, the biology lives in the soil. So when you till, that destroys their home. So it reduces the amount of biology within your system.
So you're saying I can't use my rototiller out here, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. We
'Cause I'm
don't.
destroying the soil.
Exactly.
Those microbes.
Yep.
Waking them up and shaking them up.
Yep.
I don't like that.
Yep. They're
Sounds
like
like
us. They need food and a home.
I was going to say, sounds like you're sending them to their grave.
Well, I see a lot of armor here, that's for sure. You got even cover crops and all
Do you have
kinds
insect issues then with all the covering?
So typically not with the armor, no. And that's where the other principles come into play to offset some of the insect issues. Another big thing, or the third principle, is diversity. So that's key. We try to treat everything like its own ecosystem, not just a give and take method. It's a whole ecosystem. We try to keep everything together and just kind of play off each other. So the third one, diversity, means we have a diversity of plants. We have both grasses and forbs. So that really plays in. If we think about what our soils here in North Dakota were developed with, we were a prairie state. Long before Bismarck or any towns were here, it was prairie. So a lot of our soils were developed with grasses. So, and if we think about the plants that we have within a garden, it's a lot of forbs. We really don't even have a grass, except especially a cool season grass.
Corn.
That's what we get, and I don't even really want to count that
or
most
onions,
days.
maybe.
Yeah.
So
We stretch it a little bit.
right.
There you
So
go.
we try really hard to incorporate that grass component, but not offset production in any way, shape, or form.
So you got diversity. So that's why right here, we got carrots growing with chives.
Yes.
Is that right?
So within the high tunnel, we have lots of different companion plants. Carrots and chives are really good. Anything from the allium family does really nice and plays well together, but it's the chives specifically, that particular companion planting, that repels the carrot fly.
I was going to say, would you elaborate just for our viewers a little bit about what companion planting is?
Okay, so someone once told me the easiest way to think about companion planting and companions that work well, if it cooks well together, it grows well together. And there's a
Oh,
whole
interesting.
bunch of different ways to companion plant.
What's a good companion plant for tomatoes if you don't like tomatoes?
If you don't like
Kelsey.
tomatoes,
Like Kelsey, yep.
I'm not sure, but I know basil works great with tomatoes.
Okay.
So-
And how about like right here? We got tomatoes right here.
Yes.
And you got your salsa garden, you call it.
Yes. Yep. This is the salsa bed.
So what else you got going on in here?
So we also have, in addition to tomatoes, we have 2 different types of peppers. We have chives, we have cilantro, and we did have onions earlier, but we harvested those out.
Now it looks like these hot peppers you got, those are like those Scotch bonnets, like the habaneros, like super hot types.
Yep, we do have
And
a few of those.
I just touched it. And so
out
like
for your
that, I got a
eyes.
loaded hand here. Gotta have a warning sign here maybe, Jane, just so you're saying. Okay, what's this guy doing here?
So that's a milkweed, and I'm
A weed.
It is, technically, yes.
So
it
what's the
has
story
it in the
here?
name. So, milkweed is great for monarchs, and it's really important. We also have a frame of flowers. We want to draw the pollinators in here. We're in a
Okay.
building. We don't have the nice roll-up sides. So, in order to get better production, we always plant flowers or leave different resources for our insect population to attract them in.
So milkweed really isn't a weed if you love monarchs.
That's right.
That's right.
Because the monarchs, they live off it.
They need it
No
to survive.
milkweed, no monarchs.
That's right.
So you're doing
Exactly.
you're helping beneficial, like pollinators come in here and
The
support your
habitat
crop.
ecosystem.
There you go.
Exactly, the whole ecosystem portion.
There you go.
Okay, like that word.
Okay, so you went through, I think, 4?
3.
3, sorry. What's your other 2?
Okay,
Soil
so
health
our
principles.
4th principle is continual living root. Once again, I'll refer to the prairie. Those were all perennial plants, and they were
Sure.
constantly growing. We always had a living root in the soil. In the garden system, they're annuals, and some of them you harvest out earlier than others, especially our cool seasons. So we try to relay crop them either with another vegetable or we'll add a cover crop. So we've got a few different beds of cover crops already planted because we've harvested out. One bed was onions and kohlrabi, so those are all harvested out, and we planted a cover crop just to get something in. The cover crops, it kind of varies and depends on our scale of management that we want to entertain. This is a winter rye, so it's a biennial plant with some clovers. So that winter rye will actually live through the spring or through the winter, and it'll come up in the spring, and we'll actually have to desiccate it out. Typically in here we don't use any herbicide, so we will cover it and smother it and basically starve that plant of sunlight and then plant right into the residue.
Interesting.
So,
What's the next one?
so our 5th one, livestock integration.
Livestock.
Livestock,
I
and I know
don't see
you're
any chickens.
right. I know. I was gonna say people always look at me kind of funny when I say that one, but if we talk about the prairie once again, we had large herds of ruminants, thousands of animals at a glance. If you read the Lewis and
buffalo.
Clark, buffalo,
Bison,
Yeah.
of course.
yep, moose, elk, all of them.
NDSU.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah, the bison. Exactly. So in here that looks a little bit different. We'll use livestock in the form of compost. We add manure to our compost when we make it. But we also incorporated a new one this year. We incorporated sheep's wool. So what they'll do is they'll take a sheep fleece and run it through a pellet machine. It makes it very easy to mulch. And if you've ever gotten rained on in a wool sweater, you're wet for about 3 days. So it makes sense. It'd make a great mulch.
There you go. How about this greenhouse here? You got, what is this? You got a shade cloth over it, or what's that about?
Yep, so this one we don't have the roll-up sides, so we added the shade cloth. It really helps keep it cooler in here. For our cool season plants, it gets way too hot.
Right.
It's kind of like farming in the tropics. Yep.
Yep.
So that just kind of augments it and puts it off a little bit.
Are you farming in the winter in here? Are you growing in the winter?
So we don't have any heat. We just farm. We extend the season is all we're looking to do out of this.
Okay.
Extend the season, and so the other thing is that it generates a little bit of heat so you can grow some plants that thrive off the heat. Like I see you got some lemongrass here.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
Just, you know, really cool. I'm going to steal some from you just for the sake of science and education.
Yep.
Are you going to get it so it repels some mosquitoes
smells
today?
great.
And it's big and beautiful and
Totally legal. You can get high off this stuff. Oh boy. Love it.
Very nice.
Yeah, I like it.
What are some challenges you guys have within your greenhouse, your high tunnel here?
so certain plants do really well. Our cool seasons we've struggled with, but we're kind of starting to get a handle on that. But even if you look at the cucumbers, we have some fungus. Like I said, it's like farming in the tropics here. So one thing that we've really tried, we've added fans for more air movement, and that's really kind of trying to get rid of some of the humidity and get it outside versus in here.
Okay.
And also you got to have a high quality variety that can genetically resist diseases. So especially in greenhouse production where it's intense and can have extreme conditions, we've got to have superior varieties, not those heirlooms from the past. I also see you got some funky looking leaves here on your tomatoes. So that's another challenge in your rural community. There's the nearby grower can be using herbicides.
Absolutely.
Because I know this didn't come from an Menoken farm. So, but you know, it's not that, even like on a foggy morning, a herbicide can just gently drift in and just stay there. And so that's another challenge we got here. How about the raised beds? Why do you have raised beds?
So there's a couple different reasons. One, it's easier on your back.
That's right. You're kind of getting old there.
That's right. Yeah, I'm getting old.
Big birthday coming up for him.
We had to augment.
30?
No, a little older
33.
than that.
33. Wow, you're getting up there, buddy.
I know. I'm entering my Jesus years.
Okay.
So
Okay, make them count.
that's right.
He didn't have many more after that.
That's right. But no, the biggest reason why we implemented raised beds is because we're standing right on top of a fatty clay layer.
Okay.
So it makes it really hard to grow anything in that.
Challenging, huh?
So we had to augment our soils a little bit and then build them from there.
So what is the soil you use here?
So it's 2/3 soil, 1/3 compost.
Okay.
But it's a sandy clay loam.
Okay, great.
Was that sourced from on the farm itself, or where do you source that from?
Yep, we sourced some of it from different projects, a couple different building projects, things like that. We had a little extra topsoil, so we utilized it in these beds.
Okay.
Very good. Very good. What do you think your favorite part of the high tunnel is?
I really like the cucumber trellis because that was kind of a game changer. It makes it really easy to harvest. That's probably one of my favorite portions. That or the salsa bed companion planting. It's always fun to see and try new things, and that's something we've tried a couple years, and it really has turned out quite well for us.
When did you get the arch put in?
We added the arch last year.
Okay. See, we've talked about this. I said
Yeah.
growing vertically. It's the
right.
way to go. People love it. Using it for different various cucumbers, squash.
Squash.
Those little ones.
Got to be a little squash. I
Yeah.
don't want to walk under a, one of those 50-pound squashes.
Wham!
That's the end of my life. Speaking of 33, we're not going to go that way.
Yeah.
He was squashed. That'd
That's
be quite the
right.
obituary. But you see the cucumbers are so straight. That's a nice thing when they're just hanging down there. Those are the best quality cucumbers.
Yep.
Good.
That's good. That's a cool feature. And anybody can have that, any type of
Yeah.
arch around your yard.
Nice little cattle panel, easy to.
Yeah, it was very
Yeah.
Just
easy.
a cattle panel.
Yeah.
It's a cattle panel. Yeah.
Try to go simple. It makes
You
life a
got
lot
it.
easier.
That's very important.
Well,
And
I see you got
affordable
some other trellises over there too.
Yep.
for the squash.
Squash
Summer
over there.
squash.
Summer squash, yep.
Very good. Very good.
Looks great.
Is there anything else you want to tell us about the high tunnel or any of the beds specifically?
I think we covered it. I mean, the pollinators is a really important aspect because we're kind of excluded from them. So it's really important. I can't stress the importance of adding a pollinator or a frame of flowers to attract those pollinators in.
And do you ever do flowers on that side, or you usually?
Yep. So we actually rotate all the beds. Everything's set up on a 4-year rotation, and it's kind of based around nitrogen a little bit.
Probably got that from a university recommendation.
We did get that from a university recommendation because once again, you can't alternate we try to incorporate grasses.
Crop rotation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So we don't ever plant the same thing year after year after year. We try to rotate around. It's all based on nitrogen consumption. So our first crop in the rotation is typically a leaf. So your lettuces, that kind of spinach, things like that, followed by a fruit. So that'll be your tomatoes, your peppers, then a root crop because they require the least amount of nitrogen. So beets, carrots, different things like that. And then we add a legume in that 4th year to replenish the nitrogen cycle in the cycle.
Just out of curiosity, do the doors go down every night and
Yes.
up every day?
Yep.
Okay.
Down every night, up every day.
Okay. Very
Gotta
good.
keep the critters out.
That's right.
That's right.
Well, I mean, it's a farm, so
You got it.
probably attracting lots. All right. Well, are we ready to move on to the main
I think
outdoor
so.
garden? All right. We'll take a look over there.
Hi everybody, now we're at the outdoor garden here at Menoken, and Jaden, why don't you tell us what this is all about?
Yeah, lots going on.
Looks like pure chaos out here. Plants are everywhere. Did you just like mix all the seeds together and throw them in the sky? Is that what happened?
Not
Did
quite.
seed bombs, huh?
Yeah, seed bombs.
Here.
No, organized chaos. That's what
Organized, I like that.
That's what I like to say. So we have all sorts of different plants growing out here. Some companions, some not. So lots of different things. We even have a couple of your NDSU variety trials going on out here. So different cultivar selection. Like Tom said, we always try to kind of stay on the cutting edge or try to be as up to date as we can on a lot of these different things. So once again, it's no different than in the high tunnel. The soil health principles are at play. So we can just start off even with this bale bed. So this isn't straw bale gardening. This is just a raised bed made with square bales is all we did.
Oh, so like some people use like wood for support, and here you're using straw bales for the support, and there's, beyond the support, there's soil right behind it.
Yep, there is soil in between it. And there are a couple of reasons why we used to do with something that's not as long lasting is because this whole square moves. We're in a 50 by 50 square, and that rotates throughout all the way down.
So like the bales, you're saying, move?
So the bales we probably won't reuse. We'll probably add them to our compost and make new ones next year. But yes, the bales themselves, we will move them next year. Next year, right behind me, we are probably going to plant our no-dig potatoes.
Okay, so you said soil. This isn't like the bales aren't the border. Is there soil in the bales is what you're saying?
Yes.
Or they are?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep, there's soil in the bales. The reason why we utilize this is there's certain crops and vegetables that do not like growing in hard compacted soil, and where we're standing is probably some of the worst soil on the farm. This was originally used as a compost staging area, so lots of heavy equipment driving on this constantly. So what that did over time was just compact this soil down. So it's a very hard compacted soil, and I'm using the soil health principles to revitalize them. But in the meantime, I still want my sweet potatoes because I love sweet potatoes in the fall.
So you got sweet potatoes growing right
Yes.
behind you there.
Yep, so right over here we have sweet potatoes growing. We have some dry beans further down. So trying to utilize all the principles all at once.
So they're off the ground, so it's a little bit warmer.
Yeah.
Get them off to a quick start. I see you got some melons here too.
Yep,
Right here you got a watermelon. That likes some heat.
yep.
So
Can you explain though, like how you guys, when you set up this bed specifically, like do you go in and you just pull out some of the hay out of there and replace it with soil, or how exactly do you set that up?
So we actually have 2 square bales with a gap in between, and we fill the gap in between with soil.
Oh, okay, so they do serve as like a border.
Yes, yep.
Now I'm following
it's
you.
just a border.
so there's actually a plan here.
Yes,
And you will practice rotation year after year.
yes.
And now, what are some of the crops that are most interesting to you besides your delicious sweet potatoes?
So watermelon fascinates me. We've done a few different mulch trials with that, and actually it goes back to NDSU's only watermelon study they've ever conducted. And we grow some in clear plastic and some in not. And definitely this year with all the smoke and cool spring, the stuff growing in the clear plastic definitely took off a lot quicker and faster.
Okay, there you go. And I see out here, I see a Mexican sunflower. That orange tithonia out there, that's pretty rare. I don't see that very often.
So once again, we try to add the diversity of all these different flowers and companions, really trying to up that pollinator, one, habitat, and two, it helps our production of our different vegetables.
So that's why you got the flowers right in the squash.
Yes.
Because the flowers are going to attract the pollinators.
Right.
And then the pollinators, when they get tired of that Mexican sunflower, they're going to bop on over to the squash and start pollinating the squash.
Exactly.
Is that your idea?
It's like the field of dreams. If you build it, they will come.
I love it.
Nice, nice. Do you get, I mean, like, to get this established and stuff, are you doing, like, a lot of weeding? Or, I mean, obviously once it's established, it's probably a little hard to walk through and stuff, but...
Right. So one of the things, especially in the establishment phase, we utilize several different types of mulch. So the squash, we typically go with a weed barrier fabric, so that's an inorganic mulch.
Right.
But I like that because, you know, you start off with this little tiny transplant, but by the end of the season, you need a 10 by 10 radius, and I don't want to weed a 10 by 10 radius all summer long.
Oh, okay.
So we'll utilize weed barrier fabric for that. We've got some different paper mulch that we've utilized. I like that. That breaks down throughout the season, so it's adding that carbon component because there's a lot of carbon in paper and wood and different things like that. So I'm just recycling, I'm adding that carbon component back into my soil, which ends up being food for the biology.
So is there anything like this year that is completely new from years past that you are trying out here, or besides some of Tom's wonderful trials?
Right. Well, we're always adding different things. Companion plants, we've added new companions. This year we have cucumbers and cosmos. So that'll help bring them in. The cosmos does a great job of bringing in different pollinators, but also predatory wasps, which will help repel some of your aphids and problem insects. So like I said, it's kind of a ecology method that we're going to it. We want to build habitat for the predators and the prey.
Very interesting.
Yeah, because you don't use any synthetic insecticides.
Yep. So here at Menoken Farm, the board of supervisors, when we developed this place, they said no fungicide, no insecticide, and no commercial fertilizer. We want to grow everything without it. So
all natural.
All natural to the best of our ability.
It looks like it's thriving.
It is. It's really gone to town here in the last month or so with that heat finally kicking on. Everything's kind of exploded. It's really been fun to watch.
Looks like you must have a good gardener managing this. Is that true? Or is it you?
It's me.
Oh.
So
I
take it for what.
Maybe it's the part-time help.
Must be a part-time help.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it looks great.
So
keep it going.
What do you guys do with all your produce and stuff? Like, I mean, you have tours? Are you handing it out at tours to try it milling here or there? Or what are you doing
So we
exactly?
definitely have done that. I'm not going to say we don't. The vast majority of our produce is donated to the soup kitchens in town. We will keep some back and try some ourselves, but we'll also do some nutrient density testing as well, because I mean, it's easy to think that healthier soil leads to healthier produce, but we want to actually have the science behind it and prove it and kind of figure out why.
So you are doing some research then?
Well, we're data rich.
Okay. Okay, very cool.
So yep, we absolutely do some testing, and we test our soils every year, so we're always taking those analyses, whether it's the Haney or the standard. We do PLFA, all sorts of different tests.
A lot of technical terms. Maybe people who want to know more about that should give you a call or come take a tour.
I don't want to dive down that rabbit hole.
So one thing you mentioned, and I believe you've actually talked about on our show and stuff, is your no-dig potatoes.
Yes.
And I see them down there. We'll look at them a little bit later here, but tell us a little bit about the no-dig potatoes.
So obviously I said right away, everything's no-till out here. So that leads to the question, how do you plant crops that you have to dig up? Right. So no-dig potatoes is a really easy way to start with that. What we do is we'll put them right on top of the soil and then mulch them with a heavy layer of alfalfa, so 6 to 8 inches of alfalfa. and we just water them like you normally would, and they germinate right through it. It works great. So one, I'm not tilling, but the other thing is it's really easy on my back when it comes to harvest. When you go to harvest, all you do is you grab that plant, and a lot of the potato tubers come right along with the root system. So that makes it way easier for harvest.
Why alfalfa?
So there's a few different mulches you can utilize. We've tried straw. We like alfalfa better. The main thing is the wind here in North Dakota.
Heavier?
Alfalfa is a lot more dense, where straw is light and fluffy, so that'll blow away. The other reason why I like alfalfa is most of the time farmers don't spray their alfalfa with anything, so I don't have to worry about herbicide residual. And then probably the biggest reason is the carbon-nitrogen ratio. Straw's 80 to 1 carbon to nitrogen, where alfalfa's 36 to 1. So for those that are composters, there's a lot more nitrogen in alfalfa than there is in carbon. So it's going to break down faster, and then it's going to provide nitrogen for the years to follow.
Very interesting.
And that's part of the reason why we strategically follow our sweet corn with the potatoes.
Okay.
Okay, so speaking of sweet corn, I see beyond that we have like a Three Sisters garden you got there.
Yes. Yep. So we have 3 sisters.
Tell me about the family.
The family? All right. Well, leading off the gate, we have sweet corn, obviously. That's our main crop that we're trying to harvest. But with that, we also have pole beans. So they're a legume. We harvest a few of them too as well. But they provide the nitrogen source.
I see.
For the corn, in addition to the leftover alfalfa residue from the potatoes the year before. And then our third sister is squash, pumpkins, zucchini, anything with a rough leaf. It does a really nice job for us repelling raccoons, because that's one thing, especially out in a rural landscape, we really see a lot of predation due to raccoons, and I've seen it plenty of times myself. They usually get to the corn right as it's just about ready that I want to pick it. So
the prickly vines of the squash repel the wildlife.
Yes, yep, they help repel the wildlife.
And they also serves as a mulch, right? It creeps along the ground.
Yep.
So it's one type of way to conserve moisture.
Right.
Besides keeping the wildlife out. So the Three Sisters, they all complement each other, huh?
They do.
And even nutritionally, they complement one another.
Yes.
And that's why the Native American tribes, many of them could thrive on that Three Sister garden and survive, all year round on it.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Absolutely.
And I also see that's in your Three Sisters garden. You also have some biodegradable mulch.
Yes.
Like some paper mulching.
Yep. So I have that all paper mulch. So that'll break down. It's already started to break down, but by the end of the season, that'll be virtually gone.
So that's the nice thing about biodegradable mulch is that you don't have to worry about it after the year.
Right.
If you got the black plastic mulch, all that cleanup and questions about disposal, you can really question, like, is this really ecological mulch at all?
Right.
So that's a nice alternative, and it seems to work. 1 year, it lasts 1 year for you. That's great.
Well, and that's the other thing. We try to leave all our residue because there's still some nutrient in the plant, or, the leaves and the spent flowers, things like that. So if we allow that to break down, we're trying to recycle our nitrogen versus just picking it up, taking it off, and adding it to the compost and adding it back later. So we really try to leave all the residue that we can. But you're right, with the plastic, you really can't leave your residue. You have to take it off in order to get the plastic up and move it.
Yeah, there's another sister in the family nobody wants to talk about. But the sunflower is like the fourth North Dakota sister, and it's often also used as like a windbreak.
Yeah.
And it also provides a nutritional source. So that fourth sister, she kind of, I don't know if she's like the bad child of the family, or just nobody wants to talk about it.
The rebellion.
Yeah.
But she has a role. So
She
don't
does.
forget about that.
Absolutely. We added that in too, just to add, another pollinator aspect. And the other thing is it puts a really nice taproot down. So we have a diversity of root systems, and they're putting off different sugars, each plant is, so we get a good diversity of microbes growing within the soil.
Good.
So we try to add as much as we possibly can.
Yeah, I like that.
So one question I have, and again, I know we're going to look at it a little bit later close up, but kind of got a pile of what's going on, that larger pile down at the end of the outdoor garden.
So
Looks like I said, our corral last year with the gourds just growing out of it.
yeah, so that's a hugoculture. So what that is lasagna gardening. So when I built it,
We talked about that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very similar.
Lasagna, so it's got layers.
It's got layers.
What kind of layers you got there?
So I started off with some hard and soft wood. So I have
Okay.
cottonwoods in there. I have a few other different tree logs. And then on top of it, I piled hay and then, or prairie hay. And then I added a layer of compost, and then I added alfalfa. And then I just kept layering. And then eventually to the top, I added topsoil and compost.
And what's planted in there?
So obviously something like that, it's harder to rotate. And there's certain plants that make rotation really hard. So I'm trying to incorporate all my perennials growing in the hugelkultur. So I have asparagus, I have strawberries, I have a Nanking cherry. Or no, I apologize, an Evans Bolly
Right,
cherry.
that's right.
And then I also have rhubarb growing in there. And then I do have some annuals as well. So I also have the giant State Fair pumpkins. So I believe they're the North Atlantic cultivar.
Yeah, Atlantic Giant.
Yep.
So that kind of serves like that armor you talk about.
Yes.
It helps cover up the bed to protect it from eroding, huh?
Yep.
It just spreads out.
Yep.
And what is the purpose of a hugelkultur for those? Like, we've talked about lasagna, gardening to, like, yes, get a spot established for those who are looking at to do more of that minimal no-till, but what is the purpose of your hugelkultur?
So the purpose is basically I have a spot similar to lasagna where I will basically keep recycling the system.
Okay.
So I try to leave the mulch there. I add more mulch if I do have some bare soils. But the purpose is it's all going to break down eventually and just keep supplying the nutrients to the plants that grow within.
So are you worried about those perennials just dropping down over time?
I guess I haven't been, no, and I haven't really seen much settling at all. The first year I saw quite a bit of settling because I built it in the fall, and throughout the spring, that's when I saw the most settling. But since then, I really haven't seen much. But I'm sure over time it will shrink and get
down,
shorter.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. Do you take all your plants then, all your plant material, and does that go to your guys' own composting pile?
So if I have to pull it off, yes. If I
Otherwise, you leave it?
Otherwise, I leave it. If I didn't have any disease pressure or anything like that, I'll just leave it there and let it break down and incorporate itself back into the system naturally.
Okay, Jane, tell us about how you water this garden. You know, water is precious here in North Dakota.
Yeah.
Does a system like this, do you have to irrigate it?
So right away, and depending on the year, yes,
Right.
we do. I actually haven't watered this garden in the last 2 months. We've been very timely with our rains, so I haven't added a drop other than what Mother Nature's given us. But to start off, I definitely did. We have a couple different systems. We actually have a rain catchment system, so that allows us to catch 3,000 gallons of water.
Wow.
And it's actually plumbed over here, so I'm able to irrigate with rainwater when I'm able to, or when, the rain's provided by Mother Nature. And then we also have city water hooked up as well. So we try to, once again, conservation's conservation with whether we're talking soil or water. We try to use what water is provided. So
is that a drip irrigation?
yep. So,
Okay.
well, and it depends on the
overhead?
block. I do, for this part of the garden, I utilize drip irrigation. For the corn, I utilize drip irrigation. For the cover crops and potatoes, I use a sprinkler.
Okay, one other thing I see here is you got a beautiful planting of aronia down the road here. Should we talk about aronia for a minute?
We certainly can,
What do you
but
think?
I think this would be a great time to transition to Chad. He's kind of our local tree expert.
Okay, we're going to shift over to aronia and arboretum.
Freedom.
Huh?
Yes.
Sounds great.
Sounds
Right.
Okay, welcome everybody to the Arboretum here at Menoken Farm. And we're here with Chad Thorson, the man who manages the Arboretum. Chad, tell us a little bit about this Arboretum, how it got started, when it got started, and why you doing it?
Sure. So the Arboretum was established right around 2009, 2010, and then we've slowly been adding each year. And we, as a district, the Burleigh County Soil District, we plant a lot of trees out in the county.
Yes.
And so we wanted a place, and we sell a lot of hand plant trees, little seedlings, and we wanted a place where we could show the public what that tree or shrub would look like out on the landscape. So that's why we decided to start this arboretum, and here we are.
So this is the Burleigh County Soil Conservation District, right? And so as you say, one of the best features of that is you sell trees, bare root trees.
Correct.
And you need to apply for those trees like in fall, right?
Yes, absolutely. So we have a website, tree store, on menokenfarm.com, and on there we open it up in October, and then you can order your trees up until end of January 31st.
Yeah, so one thing about those trees is they're very affordable, but, you know, and that's great for like, especially in a rural setting, rural landscape, but those trees are not necessarily the best of the best trees, right, as far as beauty. These are more for conservation purpose, like that's stabilize the soil, attract wildlife, you know, feed wildlife, but also adds some beauty to large areas, and it's an affordable way to do it.
Absolutely. Yeah, so conservation trees, bare root, seedlings, that's what we sell. And you have to be careful to make sure that the trees match the soils. The soil is a very important part of that. Some trees like sandier soil, some like, you know, clay. So it's important to try to match that up to get the best results.
That's right, and the workers here at Menoken Farm can help people make the selections that are best suited for their soils. That's your job,
Yep,
right?
absolutely.
So we're standing right here by a purple tree with some funky looking fruit here.
It's beautiful. Beautiful. Lots of fruit.
So what's this all about?
So I see the birds got to it a little bit
That could have
already.
been me yesterday. I was out here yesterday. I was hungry.
Yep, those are choke cherries.
Choke cherry.
Yep, choke cherry. And this is off of a Schubert choke cherry, which has a unique colored leaf, which start out green in the spring, and then in mid-June turn to this color here.
Yeah, one thing let me say is that never eat a fruit unless you know what it is, okay?
Get it correctly identified.
Yeah.
Very important.
And so this is where Kelsey can help. As far as if you're not sure, you can take a picture of the fruit, a picture of the branch, and we can help you identify. But, you know, be smart. Just don't go out here eating stuff.
One thing, though, I think, Chad, you should elaborate a little bit on is your guys' conservation trees actually are grown in the state. You source them inside the state.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
we get a lot of our deciduous trees come right here at Bismarck, Lincoln Oaks Nursery. We get a lot from there, and some other nurseries in the area. And then also the evergreens are grown with NDSU State Nursery in Towner.
Yeah, which is great because sometimes people order online and guess what? That tree hasn't been like acclimated to our climate and stuff and can have some issues.
Yeah,
so.
knowing the seed source is very important.
Yeah.
You know, all Colorado blues aren't created equal.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, why is that? How come some Colorado blue spruce are bluer than others? What's that about?
well,
They're all seedlings, is that right?
correct. And you never really know kind of what you get. I mean, a variety, genetics has a lot to do with
Yes.
it. But sunlight, the waxy coating, I believe they produce something that makes them bluer than others for certain individual trees.
Yeah. Just like your brother doesn't look exactly like you either. So, I mean, until we learn how to clone people, there's going to be some differences, even within a family.
They're siblings.
Right?
Yeah,
So that's just the way it is. So there's nothing wrong with my tree if it's a little bit greener
Yeah.
or bluer. That's just nature. That's just the way it is. It's variability. Yep, that's good. So tell us, what's your favorite tree out here?
My favorite tree, oh boy, there's so many. I like the laurel leaf willows. I think.
Laurel leaf willow.
Yep, nice glossy leaf. They can be pruned up a little bit. Nice ornamental.
Not a weeping.
Not a weeping.
Yep.
Nope.
That's right.
I don't-
Weeping
and
is bad karma, just like a sad tree.
Sad, just
Flopping over. And it's kind of among willows, it's fairly sturdy,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you totally. That's a very beautiful glossy. How about it's got a brother called a golden willow. I see we got golden willow out here.
Yep. Yeah, there's a few golden willows and peach leaf willows. when I started here, I was, it was hard to tell kind of the different willows, because when we get them as seedlings, it's hard to tell those apart. They're just basically a stick.
Right.
And so that was another advantage of having the arboretum, is that you can look at those individual willows and see which one is, that you like the best.
Those differences and how they grow. And
You can see some, the other nice I see out here is that you can see some plants thriving, and like this is like a low maintenance arboretum, right? So, and so these guys are, if they're thriving, that means they're pretty tough and they can tolerate fairly harsh conditions. But you also see some losers out here that just like, man, you are not going to make it, friend. So that's part of the research here. You got to see what works and what doesn't work.
Yep, for sure. There's some that definitely do better than others, and we don't, like you mentioned, it's low maintenance. We do hardly any pruning. We don't water anything. This is just kind of how how they'll be out if you just plant them
survival of
out
the
and-
fittest.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, one of the trees I noticed that's very fit out here is your green ash.
Mhm.
What's that about? That's why everybody plants green ash. That's why half the trees in North Dakota are green ash. Is that right?
Well,
It's tough.
they're one of the very hardy, and they're one of the few native trees in North Dakota.
Okay,
We're pretty
yeah.
limited on
Right.
that. I think Jaden mentioned it earlier. We are a prairie state, so
Right.
trees don't necessarily like to thrive here, especially in certain areas. So picking those ones that are more acclimated to our environment, that do well, maybe we're a little bit higher pH soils than
Yes.
surrounding us. So there's those that do better in that.
Yeah, but now the green ash is growing well here, but we don't recommend planting green ash trees here, right? Because of that emerald ash borer
It's-
just lurking over the horizon, coming to get us
Not-
someday.
Not quite here yet,
Maybe.
that we know of.
We
that
don't know.
Yeah.
Yes.
But so we try to do some preventative. If somebody wants to plant a lot of green ash, we'll encourage them to maybe do something like every other tree or in that tree row or something like that.
That
To
diversity.
diversify.
Yep.
Yep,
Yep.
exactly. And
So when the borer comes, you can cut down half the trees.
and you still have a tree row.
Still have a
Yeah,
tree
it'll
row.
fill in.
There you
It'll
go.
fill in. Enjoy that
So
extra
what would
sunlight.
be a good choice of a part or an alternative to a green ash?
Yep, there's probably a few, but one of the main ones I would say would be the hackberry tree, which is also native to North Dakota. It's a little bit fuller than the green ash, but very very nice specimen. We have a few different varieties of that, the northern hackberry and the Oahe hackberry, I believe.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
they look great.
Yeah, we got a
I
whole
don't think
row
they
of
get enough
hackberries.
appreciation.
They look great.
Yes.
That's a tough tree. Hackberries are a tough tree.
Yep,
Right.
absolutely.
So, how about one thing I like out here is you got a few viburnums, including a cranberry bush viburnum.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Do you like that shrub?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of it. Not to be confused with the bog cranberries.
Oh yeah, right.
This is a high bush cranberry. Very beautiful in the fall. It has bright berries, bright red berries that hang on into the winter. Probably not the best one to maybe eat. You can probably do some other things with it.
Skip it.
Yeah, but I
Go
mean,
and enjoy a bowl of soup.
Maybe not
Skip
the
it.
best. No,
I'm
it
gonna
is
put
the
that-
worst.
You're right.
That's it.
Let's say it together. It's the
You
worst.
gotta say you're the worst, buddy. But we don't grow it to eat it.
Right. It's
We,
more of an ornamental.
yeah, and so that's one thing. It tastes so terrible that even the birds won't eat it in
Right.
winter. And so we got these beautiful red clusters in our North Dakota winter landscape. And so that's a nice feature. But over time, it does mellow out and ferment. So by the time early spring comes, it gets tolerable, and maybe gives a bird a little bit of buzz too, when they eat it. So
A feel good, huh?
yeah, that can be that's a very important time for wildlife. At the late winter, early spring, that's when a lot of food sources are scarce, and so that's a nice feature with that too.
Very good.
I see you got ponderosa pine out here and Scotch pine out here.
Yep.
They're popular, huh?
Yeah, they're. We talked about how we're kind of limited with with trees and shrubs in this area of the prairie, we're probably even a little more limited with our evergreen varieties to choose from. But we do, there's some more becoming available. There's a lot of good work being done on developing some of those, and so we have ponderosa pine, Scotch pine, blue spruce, black hills, some jack pine, Norway spruce. We try to plant them out here and kind of see how they do, and it helps me too to kind of see what's working and what's not.
Tom, as an apple guy, did you scout out the apples that are here?
I see you got some crab apples here. And one I'm not familiar with, it's just called a Midwest crab apple. It's got these little tiny pea-shaped fruits. So I'm not familiar with that. What's the deal with that tree?
Yep, so Siberian crabapple or Midwest crabapple is another variety, but they're more of for birds specifically, and also they're very showy in the spring when they flower.
Oh yeah.
That's probably the biggest advantage to them, besides the wildlife component, that their fruit will hang on during the winter and provides a food source.
Okay, that's
and
good.
There's red splendor is also another good one, ornamental with the pink flowers in the spring.
And that one's that's got some resistance to fire blight, red splendor, correct?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, right?
I don't know. I don't know. I know that you got doggo, and I know that has some disease resistance to it.
Thought red
My
splendor
guess is
was one.
yeah, maybe. I don't know. I have to get the books out to see that. But the Midwest one, I don't know if that does. I'd be kind of skeptical if it does. Otherwise, it'd be more widely planted. But it's got very small fruits, and so that often persists on the tree for a long time and becomes a very important food source for birds later. So I think that's really an interesting one that people can come out here and look at.
Take a look at.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the doggo as well. I mean, with the bigger fruit on there, a lot of people use those. If you like crab apples, they have they're pretty tasty, and also the wildlife component. So
that's right. That's a nice tree.
Yeah.
Yep. Any other tree we should talk about here? How about, did we talk about that aronia?
No,
Yes.
not yet.
We stopped by an aronia plant. That is special plant. Do you have
Again, like these choke cherries, just an abundance going on over
they're
there.
thriving.
Yep.
So what's the deal? You like aronia?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of aronia. It's a shrub. The Mackenzie black chokeberry is another name for it. We get the Mackenzie variety. A little bit shorter stature, and they produce heavily almost every year. I mean, you can get fruit the second year pretty easily, and also a glossy green leaf. And in the fall, you get very beautiful orange, reds, deep reds, all kinds of different colors in the fall. Make it unique, and they're easy to pick. I mean, the berries on them they're I would say probably blueberry-ish size, and they grow in clusters, so you can get a 5-gallon bucket very easily. High in antioxidants. Yeah,
that's great. You can pick them, but then the problem is you got to eat them afterwards, and they're called chokeberry for a reason. They're kind of astringent, is the dry. So but it's our most popular fruit grown in North Dakota because there's more aronia grown than apples, grapes, any of that, because it's so easy to grow and so adaptable, and the birds don't like it. And so you don't have to worry about bird pressure. But the problem is you got to process them, and that's what the Europeans do. They process aronia, and even if you buy some juice, some frozen juice, if you look at the ingredients, it may have aronia in it. It's often blended,
right?
Or if you process it or freeze it, it becomes more edible. But I like it. It's just beautiful plant. Even the white flowers in spring, the glossy foliage, it's easy to grow, almost no bugs.
Yeah.
It's an underutilized plant. Even just to look at, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Keep it on the fruit trend too. You guys do offer our North Dakota blueberries.
Haskaps
That's
or
right.
honeyberries. Yeah, we try to. We don't have those every year, but we try to get them in. They are becoming more
popular,
available
yeah.
and popular. So, and with those very early fruit setting, I would say you better be checking them early June, first week in June. because if you don't, it's kind of like June berries, you know.
Oh,
The
yeah.
birds will
Yep.
find them way before you will.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's right. That's one of the first fruits to ripen. And those birds have been waiting all winter
All
for
winter.
a beautiful hascap, just
That's
staring
right.
at it. That is the best. That is a great tasting fruit, that's for sure.
It is, very much.
You know, the last thing is like I see, like what if I have like the North Dakota soil, some of the salty soils. I see it got some silverberry and sea berry out here.
Correct. Yeah, and I mean, if the soil, like, though, generally what I found is that, you know, anything with a silver leaf kind of has more tolerance to that high salinity or pH. So you know, it's a nasty word, but Russian olive,
Yep.
sea berry, buffalo berry, silverberry, all those are going to have a lot higher tolerance than the other varieties for that higher pH. If your soil is pure white, with that, you're probably not going to get anything to grow in there. But if your soils are, you can't get the more desirable ones that you want to grow in there, that is a substitute, an option.
Yeah.
There you go. Talk to your neighbors over in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, salt is an issue, but I really like the silvery color to it. It is thorny, so you know, maybe that can also be a plus or a
I was going to
minus.
say, keep the neighbors away.
Keep the neighbor's dog
Maybe
out of
keep
your
that
yard.
dog.
Maybe out
That's
there.
right.
That's a good, and it does have orange fruits, you know, that are beautiful. The sea berries has a nice orange fruit to it. So
Yep, very high in vitamin C. Yep.
that's why, you know, it's a nice just to come out here and everything's labeled out here, and you can just kind of enjoy it and learn and see what works and what you like and what maybe doesn't work.
That's great.
And this is open again. Menoken Farm is open to the public, and so come enjoy it.
Yeah, if you have questions, call. You know, if you want, you know, specific appointment or something. But yeah, like Tom said, this is open to the public. That's what it's here for.
Yeah. Well, I would say what a great tour today, huh? I mean, especially those who maybe can't get out here or in a different state. But again, we just want to say thank you to you and Jaden and the Menoken staff and the Burleigh County Soil Conservation District for allowing us to come out and shoot an on-site tour today. Anything else you guys want to add?
I just think it's a really it's a great resource we have here in Burleigh County, and we're just like 10 miles east of the city. It's not that far, and it's just a nice, peaceful, beautiful place. So come and enjoy it.
Yes. So with that, we'll just say thank you for joining us on today's episode of Dakota Growing, and of course, we hope that you will join us on all our future episodes.
Dakota Growing is a gardening show brought to you by Dakota Media Access and NDSU Extension. We discuss a variety of timely topics pertaining to your landscape, along with giving you tips and advice for your lawn, garden, and trees. If you have questions, call 701-221-6865 or email ndsu.burleigh.extension@ndsu.com. Dakota Growing airs on Radio Access 102.5 FM, Community Access Channel 12 or 612 HD, or online at freetv.org.